So it looks like we might be getting Modern Warfare 3 Remastered. Now, this is gonna sound kind of out of left field, and this may have gone under the radar for a lot of people because all of the Call of Duty news, so to speak, has been about MW2, right? The game comes out literally next month, and the beta is out in just a few days. So a lot of people probably missed this stuff, but MW3 Remastered right now is sort of, it's come up in the cards a little bit, and you may be surprised as to why that is. But if this is indeed happening, then it's got some very interesting implications for the future of Call of Duty and, what they're going to be doing going forward. I say, like, if this happens, but realistically, it's more like MW3 Remastered is just sitting on someone's hard drive in Infinity Ward in California and is literally just waiting for the proper time to be released. I would say that's the most likely reality of the situation. So, in fact, I would even probably wager Modern Warfare 3 Remastered has been completed for years at this point. I think it's actually been a completed project, maybe since, I don't know, 3 to 4 years ago. I think that's very realistic. And wouldn't it be nice, if we could just, like, make the game ourselves instead of having to wait for the mercy of someone else to release it? And that leads us to today's sponsor. Do you think you've got some great ideas to make an amazing video game? It's so easy for us to criticize games we do have, but what if you had the opportunity to make your own game, and more so, turn that into a whole career? Let me introduce you to our sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University. They have programs for over 200 degrees to further you in your career goals doing something you love. If you already have college credit, it will let you transfer up to 90 credits towards a bachelor's and up to 12 towards a master's degree. In the game development program, you'll learn everything from game AI to 2D and 3D graphics, modeling and textures and UI design, and so on. All the courses are led by cutting-edge industry experts that can help you take your passion for games and make a real career from it. With an extremely flexible schedule, you're able to learn at your own pace. So if you want to begin or continue your education and make a switch to a career in game development, check out the link in the description to get started today, and thank you very much to SNHU for sponsoring this video. So over the past couple of weeks, a lot of notable leakers have been claiming that MW3 Remastered is in fact real and is coming at some point very soon. Now, these leakers aren't like a where'd you get your information source, dude, just trust me kind of thing. Like, these guys have been in the, let's say, leaking community for a long time and have gotten basically almost everything right about Call of Duty for the past decade or so. In fact, these are the very same people that not only called the original Modern Warfare Remaster come out that was going to be attached to Infinite Warfare, but also MW2 Remastered when that came out. However, these have very different circumstances, so if we think back a little bit, COD 4 originally got remastered as a bundle package tied to, I believe, like the Prestige Edition of Infinite Warfare, or, like one of the more costly bundles, and that was just an incentive to pick up the game because they knew that Infinite Warfare was probably not going to sell that well, and they needed another incentive for people to get their foot in the door, and COD 4 Remastered did wonders because everybody wanted to play that, and that was remastered primarily by Raven Software. However, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered also did come out. You guys remember that a couple years after. However, this was a very different circumstance because the COD 4 Modern Warfare remake was both the campaign and the multiplayer, like essentially the entire game, whereas the MW2 Remaster was only campaign, and this wasn't made by Raven, but by Beanox. But here's where things start to get kind of weird, because this isn't the first time rumors about a Modern Warfare 3 Remastered have come up. In fact, in 2021, when confronted publicly about this question, Activision flat out denied the existence of an MW3 Remaster, but this flies in the face of more recent claims that the MW3 Remaster just simply does exist, and it is there, and it's coming, more importantly. And so, why are these two conflicting statements even being held? I have no idea what incentive they have to, like, I don't know, I guess mislead or even just flat out lie about it. I remember in 2017, when I was at some Call of Duty events, we had brought this up to people, and again, it was flat out denied. A Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, at the time, according to us, from people we asked, did not exist. However, that we know that to not be the case. It is literally playable right now, albeit it's only the campaign, obviously, but still. And if we were getting a Modern Warfare 3 Remastered, I don't know why they're taking this approach to just saying it flat out doesn't exist. I don't know if it's supposed to be more hype hyped that way, as I don't remember the MW2 remaster being all that hyped. Like, sure, it was cool, but it wasn't the multiplayer, so it's like, it's just the campaign we've already played from a few years ago. What's there to get, massively excited about? Again, just making a quick note that both Beanox and Raven Software work very closely with these, like, remastered Modern Warfare projects, and we know that if we look at MW2 this year, they have a ton of studios working on this project, so they're all working very closely, as we can see. They even have, like, High Moon and stuff in it, so I think that it's inevitable that Modern Warfare 3 Remastered already does exist and is just waiting to be released at some point, or is going to be worked on very soon, but I'm going to go with the former, honestly, and this is where things get even more spicy, because a couple of months ago, I remember Call of Duty tweeting about, like, basically why they weren't making more zombies maps for Cold War. Like, it was just like an offhand thing that they had mentioned, but they said that during the 2023 gap year, so to speak, because we are not getting a premium Call of Duty game in 2023. We have MW2 coming out this year, and then Treyarch's next game will be in 2024. So this will be the first time COD has some kind of cycle broken in that way. However, that doesn't mean they're not releasing anything. And I think there's a few possibilities of what this means. Number one, this means we are getting a Modern Warfare 3 remaster in the gap year between MW2, I know it's kind of confusing, but the new MW2, and before Treyarch's next title, we get a Modern Warfare 3 remastered in between that. Either that, or we get a Zombies standalone game, which is also rumored to be happening this year. And also in 2023, we know this a bit more concretely and for sure, that the DMZ mode that is rumored to be attached to MW2 will be releasing during then as well. So I think there's a bunch of different outcomes for this, but I think the most important question to ask ourselves is it just going to be the campaign, and should it just be the campaign, or should we have the full experience with the multiplayer and perhaps even the entire co-op Spec Ops mode alongside it? In my opinion, I think that they would get the most out of doing this if they remastered the game in its entirety, and I'm not sure if they would just release it as its own game or make it attached to something else like they did with Infinite Warfare. But if that's the case, in 2023, they really don't have anything to attach it to unless somehow it's going to be attached to DMZ. So what I truly believe to be the most likely option going on is Modern Warfare 3 Campaign Remastered already exists, and probably has for quite some time, and the whole, like, Activision waiting for the right time to release it, they did the exact same thing with MW2. However, as much as I would love to have the MP of Modern Warfare 3 Remastered in its own game, if Raven Software is going to be working closely with Infinity Ward, and, primarily their development focus is still on Warzone and, the constant live service that game requires, I find it hard to imagine that they somehow also had the time and resources to fully remaster the game of Modern Warfare 3 in its entirety, campaign, multiplayer, and Spec Ops. But my prediction is this MW3 Campaign Remastered will most likely release sometime during the gap year of 2023. I mean, it's, 2022 is starting to come to an end, and we're going to round out the year with MW2. We probably won't see or hear anything about it until next year, but I would say, despite Activision denying its existence as of 2021, I think it's more likely that the leakers that claim that it is real and is already done in 2022 are probably more accurate, or in some sense more trustworthy. And while it's not terribly old, I think it is, aged enough at this point that it could do with the remaster. And again, I think it's more likely not that we will see it sometime next year. So just be on the lookout for that. Let me know if you think it should just be the campaign or the multiplayer should come along with it. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.